Stadiums are sold as symbols of pride, cathedrals of sport, meant to bring people together. But behind the cheering crowds lies a history of broken homes, bulldozed neighborhoods, and taxpayer money funneled away from the very communities these stadiums were supposed to serve. From Los Angeles to New York, Atlanta to smaller markets you've never heard of, the story is the same. For every stadium built, there's a community erased. This is the dark history of stadiums and how sports can destroy communities. Cities justify stadium projects with promises of revitalization, jobs, growth, tourism, civic pride. Politicians hold press conferences with smiling team owners and renderings of gleaming arenas, promising that the investment will pay for itself. But the numbers tell a very different story. Between 1970 and 2020, state and local governments in the US and Canada poured $33 billion of public money into major league sports venues. And yet, study after study shows that the actual economic impact is negligible. One 2023 review concluded there's little to no economic benefit from new stadiums. This is optimism bias in action. Leaders and citizens overestimate the benefits of a stadium while underestimating the costs. And these costs aren't just financial, they're human. To build stadiums, cities need land, and that land is rarely empty. In the 1950s, more than 1,800 families were displaced from Los Angeles' Chavez Ravine to make way for Dodger Stadium. In many cases, bulldozers literally arrived while the residents were still inside their homes. But this wasn't an isolated story. In Washington, D.C., entire blocks were razed for Nationals Park. In Atlanta, the construction of stadiums fueled waves of gentrification that pushed long-standing black communities out of their homes. From coast to coast, the pattern repeats. Neighborhoods are sacrificed for the greater good of sports. This is moral licensing. Politicians and team owners frame displacement as justified because of the supposed benefits: civic pride, jobs, revitalization. But for those who lost their homes, the price was permanent. Here's the paradox. Stadiums are almost always pitched as private ventures, playgrounds for billionaire owners and multi-millionaire athletes. But the bill? That falls on the taxpayer. In just the last decade, at least 8 new stadiums have opened in the US, costing a total of $3.3 billion, with $750 million of that coming from public funds. Zoom out further and the picture gets even clearer. From 2000 to 2020, US pro sports venues have benefited from tens of billions of dollars in subsidies, tax breaks, and hidden financing tools. That's money that could have gone to schools, housing, or infrastructure. Instead, funneled into entertainment venues that overwhelmingly benefit private owners. This is diffusion of responsibility. No single politician feels the sting of writing the check because the cost is spread out across millions of taxpayers. When stadiums open, headlines celebrate the revitalization, but who actually benefits? The jobs created are often temporary construction roles, not long-term careers. Stadium work itself, concessions, ticketing, maintenance, is typically low-wage and seasonal. The real winners are the team owners, developers, and investors whose property values and franchise valuations skyrocket. Meanwhile, the people most directly affected, the displaced, the taxed, the communities left with underfunded services, are written out of the victory lap. This is selective attention. Cities spotlight the cheering fans on opening day, while ignoring the silent costs borne by those who no longer live there. Stadiums are supposed to bring us together, to give us moments of collective joy, and sometimes they do. But peel back the layers and a darker story emerges. Decades of displacement, billions in public subsidies, and communities left behind. The truth is simple. Stadiums don't just rise from the ground. They rise on top of someone else's home, someone else's tax dollars, someone else's sacrifice. So the next time your city announces a shiny new stadium, ask yourself, who is this really for? And who is paying the price?